Have you ever had one of those moments, where something complex in a language you're learning just suddenly clicks and you instantly see how you can actually use it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It feels great, doesn't it? Like finding a little secret key.
Exactly. It's like a shortcut to sounding, well, more natural.
Yeah, those are the moments that turn the grammar rules from like abstract ideas into real tools you can actually use. It's about being able to say what you really mean.
Totally. And that's pretty much our mission today on the deep dive. We're going to take a really close look at Genki Lesson 11. It's called After the Vacation.
Right.
Now, if you're using Genki, you might notice this lesson looks, well, kind of short compared to some others.
Mm-hmm. It does seem that way at first glance.
But don't let that fool you. It is absolutely packed, just full of super common, really practical phrases you'll hear and use constantly in everyday Japanese.
Yeah, these aren't just things to, memorize for a quiz. They're the real building blocks for talking about what you want, what you did, experiences you've had, real communication.
So our goal today isn't just to explain what these grammar points are. I mean, the textbook does that, right?
Sure.
We want to unpack how they work, why they're so useful, and give you loads of examples, plus that all-important context. We want this stuff to really stick so you can just use it naturally.
Make it intuitive, not just something you have to consciously think about every time.
Exactly. Okay, let's dive straight in. First up, probably one of the most useful ones early on, the tie form.
Ah, yes, tie.
This is it. This is how you finally get to say, I want to do something in Japanese. Think about how often you say that in English. I want to eat, I want to go, I want to see.
All the time. It's fundamental. And the tie form is, well, it's beautifully direct for expressing your own desire. And that emphasis on personal desire is actually really, really important, as we'll get into. For learners, nailing this just instantly expands what you can talk about. Your preferences, what you feel like doing.
Okay, so how do you actually make it? How do you form this tie thing?
Well, the good news is it's surprisingly simple, which is always nice in Japanese grammar. Right?
Definitely.
You just take the verb stem, the V-masu stem, the part you use for the light masu form, and you stick tie on the end. That's basically it.
Okay, walk us through an example like tabaru, to eat.
Right. Tabaru, the stem is tabe. You drop the ru, you've got tabe, add tai, boom, tabe tai, I want to eat.
Tabetai, got it. So if I want sushi, sushi o tabetai.
Exactly. Or maybe add desu for politeness. Sushi o tabetai desu.
Okay. What about iku, to go?
Same deal. The polite form is ikimasu, right? So the stem is iki.
Iki.
Add tai. Ikitai. I want to go. Simple.
Ikita. Nice.
Yep.
So it's not ikimasuta or anything weird like that.
No, just the stem. Iki plus tai. Ordered a book.
Yeah.
The stem is yomi. So
Yomitai.
perfect. Yeah. Yomi tai. Want to buy something. Cow. Stem is kai. So
Kai.
kaitai. Okay, the pattern seems really consistent. That helps.
It is. And you mentioned politeness with desu. That's worth touching on again. You can add desu tabetai, desu ikitai, desu dar. Makes it a bit more formal.
But honestly, in many situations, especially casual ones, just tabetai or ikitai is perfectly fine. Adding desu all the time can sometimes sound a little textbooky.
Yeah.
A bit stiff.
Yeah, I can see that. Like you're trying too hard almost.
Kind of. Depends on who you're talking to, of course. Context is everything. But don't feel you have to slap desu on every single tie form.
Okay, good tip. So that's wanting to do something. What about the opposite? Not wanting to.
Ah, the negative form. Also pretty intuitive, thankfully, because tie acts just like an adjective. Like samui for cold.
Oh, right. So like samui becomes samakunai for not cold?
Exactly that pattern. You take the final off tie, change it to R, and add is.
And I.
Okay, hold on. So tabe tai ends in S. Change to R. Add.
Tabeitakunai. I don't want to eat. It follows that standard adjective rule perfectly.
Wow, okay. That makes it way easier to remember.
It really does. Once you see that connection, it clicks.
Yeah.
So ikitai, I want to go, becomes
Yeah.
that.
Ikita kunai. I don't want to go. Yep. Mitai, I want to see, becomes mita kunai. I don't want to see. It's super consistent.
Let's try putting that in a sentence. Maybe you don't like the look of a place. I don't want to eat here.
Good one. That would be kokora tabeta kunai.
Kopai tabetunai. Makes sense. Or everyone's favorite Monday morning feeling. I don't want to go to work.
Ah, yes. That's shigota ni ikita kunai, a classic.
Shigoto ni ikitakunai. I should write that one down. And maybe, I don't want to watch that movie. Maybe it got bad reviews.
Sono eiga omita kunai. Perfect. You see, once you know the adjective rule, you can negate any tie verb.
Okay, that's cool. And does it work for past tense too, like an
Yeah.
adjective?
It does, same logic. How do you make an adjective past tense, like sami, cold, becomes was cold?
Change a to kata,
Uh,
samokata.
exactly. So sabetai, I want to eat, becomes tabetakata, I wanted to eat.
Tabete kata. Nice.
And you can even combine them. What about I didn't want to eat?
Whoa, okay, negative is tabete kunai, past tense. Uses kata. So, tabeta kunakatta.
You got it. Tabetakuna kata. See how beautifully consistent those adjective rules are once you apply them to Thai.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, now, you mentioned earlier that Thai is for your own desire. What did you mean by that? This sounds important.
It is important. This is where things get, well, interesting. And it's a major difference from English, a common trap for learners.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Basically, you cannot use Thai directly to state someone else's desire. You can't just say, for example, Yuki-san want ice cream o tabeta and have it mean Yuki wants to eat ice cream.
Wait, really? But how else would you say it? In English, that's perfectly normal.
Exactly. It's normal in English, but it sounds presumptuous, maybe, in Japanese. It taps into this cultural aspect of not wanting to, state someone else's internal feelings or thoughts as if you know them for sure.
Huh. So you can't just assume you know what Yuki wants.
Pretty much. Japanese communication often prefers to stick to observable facts or reported speech, rather than making direct claims about someone's inner state. It's a subtle but really fundamental difference. You're not inside their head, right?
Okay, that's fascinating. So if I can't say Yuki-san wa tabetai, how do I talk about what Yuki wants? What if she told me?
Ah, okay. If she told you, then you can report her speech. That's perfectly fine. You'd say something like, Yuki-san wa ice cream o tabetai to ite imashita.
To ite imashita. That means Hiru said that.
Yep. Yuki said that she wanted to eat ice cream. You're not claiming to know her desire directly. You're reporting her words. That's the key difference. It's factual reporting.
Got it. So report speech if they said it, what if? What if you just think they want? Like you see Yuki staring at the ice cream shop?
Good question. For those situations where you're inferring based on observation, she looks like she wants it, she seems to want it. Japanese has another grammar point. It's called tagaru.
Tagaru. I haven't seen that one yet.
No, it comes up later in Genki 2, I think around lesson 14. We won't go into the details now, but just know it exists specifically for expressing that someone appears to want to do something.
Okay, so there's a separate way to handle observed or inferred desires. That shows how important that distinction is in Japanese.
It really does. The language has these built-in mechanisms to handle perspective and avoid overstating what you know about others' feelings. It's quite elegant, really.
Yeah, it is. Okay, before we move off Thai, let's quickly clear up confusion with a couple of other words that sound kind of similar. Hoshi and sumori. People mix these up sometimes, right?
Absolutely. They all relate to wanting or intending, so it's easy to get them jumbled. Let's start with Hoshi. H-O-S-H-I.
Hoshi. Okay.
Hoshi is specifically for wanting things. Nouns. Physical objects or concepts you want to possess.
Ah, so not actions, but actual stuff.
Exactly. Like biruga Hoshi means I want beer. As in, I want the physical object, the can or bottle of beer. I want to have it.
Okay, so how's that different from wanting to drink beer using Thai?
That would be biru o nomatai. See the difference? Nomatai is want to drink, an action. Hoshi is want beer, the noun itself.
Hoshi for nouns, Thai for verbs. Got it. Like, I want a new car versus I want to buy a new car.
Perfect example. I want a new car. The car is a thing, a noun so, adarashi kuruma ga hoshi.
Ga hoshi.
But I want to buy a new car. Buying is an action, a verb so, atarashi kurumo kaitai, using the Thai form of cow to buy.
Okay, that distinction is actually super clear when you put it like that. Noun versus verb. Now, what about sumori? T-S-U-M-O-R-I.
Sumori is different again. This one is about intention or plans. It's stronger than just Thai.
Stronger how?
Sumori means I plan to, or I intend to. It suggests you've made a decision, maybe even taken steps. It's more concrete than just a wishy-washy desire.
Okay, so Thai is just I want, but sumori is I'm actually planning on it.
Pretty much. Let's use your skydiving example. Skydiving shitai is just, I want to go skydiving. Maybe you saw it on TV, thought it looked cool. Doesn't mean you'll ever do it.
Right, just a fleeting desire.
But skydiving surutsumori means, I plan to go skydiving. That sounds like you're serious. Maybe you've booked it, or you're saving up, or you've told people you're definitely going. There's real intention there.
Ah, okay. Desire Thai versus concrete plan sumori. That makes sense.
Exactly. So 3 distinct concepts. Hushi, want a noun. Thai, want to do a verb. Sumori, plan intend to do a verb.
Okay, awesome. Let's try putting Thai into some real-sounding dialogue snippets. Imagine we're out, maybe at an izakaya, looking at the menu. I might be thinking out loud.
Okay.
Nani o nomitai kana?
Ah, nice one. What do I want to drink, I wonder? That kana at the end is perfect for that musing, thinking aloud feeling. Very natural and formal.
Yeah, I hear that kana a lot. Then maybe I decide, toriyazu ramen o tabetai.
Toriezu. Great word. For starters, or for now, I want to eat ramen. It implies you might order more later, but this is your first pick. Super common when ordering.
Cool. Okay, my turn. Maybe I see something you ordered. Watashi mo edamame o tabitai. I also want to eat edamame.
Classic izakaya food.
Speaking of which, true story. First time I ever had edamame, I didn't know you don't eat the pod.
Oh, no, you didn't?
I did. Sat there chewing on the tough, fibrous skin for ages until my friend was like, you popped the beans out. So embarrassing.
Uh-huh. Oh, dear. Lesson learned, hopefully. Pop the beans, everyone. Don't eat the pods.
Lesson definitely learned. Okay, so after the ramen and the correctly eaten edamame, I might say, "Naka ga ippai dakara nani mo tabetaku nai."
Perfect. I'm full, so I don't want to eat anything. Anaka ga ippai, my stomach is full. Essential phrase after any good meal in Japan.
Totally.
And here's one you might hear, especially say in anime or from guys talking casually, or biru nomite na.
Nomende, not nomitai.
Yeah, nomite. It's a really casual, kind of slangy, sometimes rough-sounding version of nomitai. You hear it a lot in informal male speech.
Okay, like a dialect thing almost.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Or just very relaxed speech. And the na at the end adds this feeling of like wistful desire. Man, I really want to drink a beer. It adds emotional punch.
Interesting. Or biru nomite na. Good to know that variation exists. Okay, so that's Thai covered pretty thoroughly. We know how to say what we want to do. Let's shift gears. How about talking about what we did, like describing activities?
Right. Moving from desires to actions already performed.
Yeah, like, when someone asks, what did you do over the weekend? Or how was your holiday? You don't usually list every single tiny thing, do you?
God, no, that would be incredibly boring for everyone involved.
Exactly. You give the highlights, right? Oh, I went to the beach, saw a movie, stuff like that. There's a great grammar pattern for exactly that kind of summary in Japanese.
Ah, you must be talking about the tari tari suru pattern.
That's the one, tari tari suru. This is your absolute shortcut for saying, I did things like A and B and other similar stuff. It implies a non-exhaustive list, just giving examples.
It's incredibly useful because it sounds so natural. It signals you're just giving a taste of what you did, not a full itinerary. Among other things, is built right into the grammar. Much more fluid than just listing verb after verb with and.
Okay, so how does this one work? How do you build it? It looks a bit longer.
It looks longer, but the pattern is quite rhythmic. You take a verb, put it into its short past tense form, the ta form.
The ta form, right, like tabera from taberu.
Exactly. Then you add ri, so tabeta becomes tabetari.
Tabetari.
Then you do the same for at least one more verb. Let's say nomu, to drink. Past tense is nonda, adri, nondari.
Nondari. So we have tabetari and nondari. Then what?
Then, and this is crucial, you always finish the whole phrase with a form of the verb suru, to do. And it's this final suru that sets the tense politeness for everything.
Ah, okay. So the tari parts are fixed in the past tense plus reform, but the suru at the end changes.
Precisely. So tabetari nondari suru means do things like eating and drinking, maybe as a general habit or something you will do.
Okay.
But if you did it in the past, you'd use the past tense of suru. Polite past is shimashita. So tabetari nondari shimashita means I did things like eating and drinking.
I see. So the suru carries all the tense and politeness information.
Exactly. That's the key point. Yeah. The tori parts just list the example actions. The suru anchors it in time and formality.
Let's try that New Zealand example from the outline. In New Zealand, we did things like trekking and camping.
Okay. So trekking is torekingu o suru, past tense sita. Adri torekingu o shitari.
Shitari.
Camping is kyampu o suru, past tense is shita. Adri tiampu o shitari.
Shitari again.
Right. Put it together and end with past polite suru. Niugerando de torekingu shitari shimashita.
Niugerando de torekingu o shitari shimashita.
Yeah, that flows quite nicely once you say it, and it definitely sounds like those were just examples, not everything you did.
Exactly. You could add more. Tomodachi ni tari, meeting friends. Shashi no totari, taking photos. Just keep adding tari verbs before the final suru. It summarizes beautifully.
That's really useful. Now, you mentioned needing at least 2 tari verbs.
Grammatically speaking, yes. For a complete standard sentence, you typically need 2 or more examples followed by suru.
But in very casual, fast speech, you might sometimes hear people use just one tari verb and kind of trail off, letting the suru be implied, like, what did you do? Ah, terebi mitari, like watch TV.
Ah, okay, like an unfinished thought.
Kind of, but as a learner, definitely stick to the proper form. at least 2 tari verbs, then suru. That's the solid, correct way to use it. Being aware of the super casual shortcut is useful for listening, maybe, but stick to the full form when speaking, especially early on.
Good advice. Now, this brings us to something we've heard, and I've felt it too. This Kari Suru can be tricky. It sometimes feels like the main Genki book doesn't give you quite enough practice with it.
Yes, this is such a common sticking point. Learners understand the concept, they see the pattern, but then when they try to actually use it, it feels awkward or they forget the structure. The main textbook introduces it, but maybe doesn't drill it quite as much as some other points.
Right, it feels like you need more reps.
And that is exactly what the Genki workbook is for. Seriously, this is where the workbook shines. It's not just optional homework. It's designed specifically to give you that extra practice, those repetitions you need to really internalize patterns like tari, tari, suru.
So you're saying the workbook is basically essential for this one?
For many learners, yes, absolutely. If you're finding tari, tari, suru a bit shaky, the workbook exercises are designed to hammer it home. They bridge that gap between, I understand it, and I can actually use it without thinking too hard. Don't skip it.
Okay, solid recommendation. Use the workbook, people. Let's try a quick dialogue using tari, tari, suru. Imagine students chatting after a break. I ask you,
Okay. Did you do anything interesting this semester? Gaki for some, yeah, common informal term. A good response could be, Umi ni o yogi ni itari suizokukan itari shimashita yo.
I went swimming in the ocean, went to an aquarium, stuff like that. Perfect summary. It sounds relaxed and natural.
Exactly. It lists a couple of highlights, uses the tari shimashita structure correctly for past actions, and the yo adds a friendly, informative touch. It invites follow-up questions too, like, oh, which aquarium did you go to?
Yeah, much better than a dry list. Okay, so we've covered wanting to do things and summarizing various things we've done. What about talking about specific experiences? Like, have you ever? That seems like a really important function.
Oh, absolutely crucial for conversation, moving from general activities to specific, memorable past experiences.
And this next one, takoto garu, is it's the ultimate conversation starter, isn't it? It lets you ask about people's lives, their adventures. Have you ever done X? Have you ever been to Y?
It really is. It opens the door to sharing stories and finding common ground. It's how you move beyond surface-level chat.
So takoto garu, what does it literally mean?
Literally, it breaks down pretty logically.
Yeah.
You have the top form of the verb, the past tense.
Right.
Then koto, which here means like an abstract thing, an experience, or a matter.
Yeah.
Then ga'aru, which means exists.
So the experience of having done verb exists.
Exactly. Does the experience of having done that thing exist for you? That's the literal meaning. But practically, it just translates directly to, have you ever done verb? Or, I have the experience of doing verb.
Gotcha. The koto turns the past action into a noun, like the experience of doing.
Precisely. It nominalizes the past verb phrase. That koto is key.
And the construction, how do you form it?
Also very consistent. Short past tense verb, ta form, plus koto ga aru, or koto ga arimasu for polite.
Okay, example. Have you ever gone mountain climbing?
Right. Mountain climbing is yamanobori o suru, past tense is shita. So, yamanobori o shita koto ga arimasu ka?
Shita koto ga arimasu ka? Okay, and if the answer is yes?
Affirmative response. Hi, yamanobori o shita koto ga arimasu. Yes, I have gone mountain climbing before.
And negative.
Negative polite. Yes, yamanobori o shita koto ga arimasen. Or informal negative, koto ga nai. Just using the standard polite plain forms of aru arimasu.
Okay, arimasu for yes.
Totally.
Arimasen for no, polite. Or adonai informally. That's straightforward enough.
It is. The structure is reliable. Ka form verb koto arimasu ka.
Now, here's something that always makes learners sound more natural. Responding. Do I have to repeat the whole long sentence back? Like, yes, I have the experience of having climbed a mountain.
Ah, great point. No, absolutely not. Please don't. That sounds really robotic.
Okay. So what's the natural way?
Just the verb aru, or arimasu, or their negatives, is perfectly fine and totally natural. If I ask, yamanobori o shita koto ga arimasu ka? You can simply reply, hi, arimasu, or I arimasen.
Just hi, arimasu. That simple.
Yep. Or even more casually, just ario, yeah, I have. Or nai, nope. Native speakers do this all the time. It's efficient, it's smooth. Repeating the whole koto ga arimasu sounds like you're reading from a script.
Okay, that's a huge EE tip. Just respond with the aru arimasu part.
Got it.
Makes the conversation flow much better.
Instantly sounds more fluent. It shows you're comfortable with the structure and not just repeating phrases mechanically.
All right, let's try a dialogue for this one. Maybe we're talking about travel. Okinawa? I can say. Okinawa to Iba. Aomori o nonda koto ga aru.
Nice. To iba, speaking of perfect conversational connector, and awamori o nanda koto ga aru. Have you ever drunk awamori? Using the ta form of nomu to drink, which is nonda.
And awamori is that strong Okinawan liquor, right? Made from rice.
Yeah, exactly. Distilled, often pretty potent. Definitely a unique Okinawan experience. So, someone might reply, Watashi nonda koto ga arimasen.
I have never drunk it before, using the full sentence there, maybe for emphasis.
Could be, or just being clear. But arimasen would also work. Then maybe someone else pipes up, a bit worried. Dejubu kashira.
Dajubu kashira. I wonder if I'll be okay. And you mentioned kashira is mostly used by women, right? That I wonder feeling, but softer than ka.
Exactly. It has that gentle, slightly uncertain, pondering feel. Very feminine particle. You would typically hear a man use kashira seriously.
Good to know. Then maybe the experienced drinker in the group boasts.
Right, maybe they jump in with, or nankaima nonda koto aru zo?
Whoa. Okay, or is the rough I for guys. Nankaimo means many times or countless times. Nandakoto aru informal have drunk it. And that zo at the end.
Zo. Yeah, that's a strong, assertive, very masculine sentence-ending particle. It's like adding, I'm telling you, or believe it.
Yeah.
Adds a lot of emphasis. Often used among peers or when talking down socially. Not something you'd use with your boss. It makes the statement very forceful.
So, okay, another one to recognize, but maybe use sparingly myself. So that's takoto ga aru for experiences. We've done wanting, tai, listing activities, tari, and sharing experiences, takoto aru. What's left from lesson 11?
The last main piece is about listing nouns. We had tari sura for listing example actions. Now we need a way to list example things.
Ah, right, like saying, I like foods such as sushi and ramen. How do we do that, such as, or, and other things, part for nouns?
For that, we use the particle ya, written with the hiragana.
Yeah.
Ya works very much like tarizuru does for verbs, but it applies to nouns. It connects nouns in a list, but crucially, it implies the list is not exhaustive. It means A and B, among others, or things like A and B.
So it's different from the particle to, because to also means and, right?
Great question. Yes, it's crucially different from to. When you use to connect nouns, like Ringo to banana, it implies a complete list. Apples and bananas, and that's it. Full stop.
Exhaustive list.
Exactly. But ya implies a partial list. Ringo ya banana means apples and bananas, and possibly other fruits or things too. You're just giving examples.
Okay, so to is closed, ya is open-ended. How do you use ya?
Super simple. Noun A plus ya plus noun B. You could technically list more, like noun A, ya, noun B, ya, noun C, but often just two examples are given.
Let's try the Pokemon example. Pikachu and Pidgey, among others.
That would be Pikachu, ya, Pidgey.
Ah.
The ya clearly signals these are just a couple of examples from a potentially larger group of Pokemon you might like or know.
Pikachu, ya, Piche. Got it. What about a more everyday example? Like games you played as a kid. I often played games like Mario and Pokemon.
Okay. That would be Mario ya Pokemon o yoku yarimashita.
Yarimashita, not shimashita.
Good catch. Yar was often used instead of suru for playing games or sports or just casually for doing. It's a bit less formal. So, Mario ya Pokemon o yoku yarimashita. The ya tells us you played other games too, not only those two.
If I only played those two, I'd use to. Mario to Pokemon o yoku yarimashita.
Exactly. The choice between to and ya subtly changes the meaning from only these to these, for example.
Okay. Now, the outline mentions something about ya sometimes implying or. How does that work?
Yeah, this is a bit nuanced. It's not a direct replacement for or, which is usually ka. But in certain contexts, particularly when presenting choices or suggestions from a category, ya can feel a bit like or.
Like the restaurant example.
Exactly. Imagine the waiter suggesting side dishes. Edamame ya potato o tanomimasu ka.
Shall we order something like edamame or french fries?
Right. Even though ya literally means and. The context here is offering options. You might pick one, you might pick both, you might pick something else entirely. The ya lists examples from the category of things you could order, implying a choice. It's softer than demanding, do you want A or B?
Okay, so it's more about presenting examples within a category from which you might choose. Less a strict logical or.
Precisely. It's a subtle contextual thing. One more small point about ya. You sometimes see nado added after the list.
Not do, meaning etc. and so on, right?
Yep. So you could say Pikachu ya Pidginado. It makes the among others meaning explicit.
Do people use nado a lot in conversation?
It's used, but perhaps less so in very casual spoken Japanese. Often just the ya itself is enough for the listener to understand the list isn't exhaustive. Nado might feel a touch more formal or emphatic, like you really want to stress the etc.
Okay, so ya often does the job on its own. Good to know. Let's try a quick dialogue for ya. Back to the drinks. Someone observes my preferences.
Okay, they might say, Awamori ya biru. Iroyoro na nomimono ga suki da ne, Andu-san.
Awamori and beer. You like various drinks, Anda-san. The ororo na, various, reinforces the ya meaning, right?
It does, yeah. It emphasizes the variety.
What?
Maybe the casual reply we heard earlier.
Mana, mana. Yeah, well, sure, man. Very laid-back agreement.
Mm-hmm. And then back to the waiter suggesting sides. Edamame ya potato o tanomimasu ka?
Shall we order something like edamame or French fries? Offering examples.
And a simple, polite response. Un. Wanegai shimasu.
Yes, please. Works whether you want one or both, right?
Exactly. Simple and effective.
Okay. So that covers the 4 big grammar points from Genki Lesson 11. Tai, wanting to do. Tarisuru, listing example activities. Takoto ga aru, having experience. And ya, listing example nouns. That's a lot of really practical stuff packed into one lesson.
It really is. These are foundational for expressing yourself in so many common situations. But, learning these points is one thing. Making them stick and using them confidently is another.
Totally. So let's talk about strategies beyond just this lesson. How can learners reinforce this stuff and, keep progressing?
Well, first off, let's circle back to the workbook. We mentioned it for Tarisuru, but honestly, it's vital for all of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. The main textbook introduces things, gives you the basics, but that spaced repetition, the targeted drills, the different types of exercises you get in the workbook, that's what really cements the grammar in your head. It moves it from passive knowledge, oh yeah, I recognize that, to active skill. I can actually build a sentence with that myself. Seriously, the workbook is not optional. If you want this stuff to stick, it's essential.
Consider it hammered home.
Right.
Use the workbook. What else?
Anki decks. Or any spaced repetition system, SRS, flashcard app, really. Anki is just super popular and customizable.
For vocab. Right?
For vocab, yes. But also crucially for grammar. Don't just memorize isolated words. Make or find sentence cards. Put the grammar points into context.
So a card might have a full sentence using Tarisuru on one side and the English translation on the other.
Exactly. Or maybe a closed deletion,
Yeah.
where part of the grammar is blanked out and you have to recall it. Add audio if you can. The key is daily review. That consistent spaced exposure to full sentences helps the patterns become second nature. You start to just feel what sounds right.
Daily review. Sentence cards. Got it. That makes sense for embedding the patterns.
It really works. And beyond that, look for other resources. The Genki Study Resources website has extra stuff, more exercises, culture notes that add context.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those culture notes. They're pretty interesting.
They are. And YouTube channels, you mentioned Tukini Andy. There are others too. They often provide really clear explanations, sometimes with native speaker examples, which helps with pronunciation and intonation too.
Right, hearing it used naturally.
And don't underestimate online communities. Discord servers, forums, places where you can ask questions when you're stuck, practice with other learners, maybe even chat with native speakers. It makes it less of a lonely struggle, Learning becomes a shared thing.
Yeah, that community aspect can be super motivating. Okay, so workbook, Anki sentences, online resources, community, solid advice. Now, as we learn more Japanese, things get more complex, right? You hinted earlier about grammar reflecting deeper cultural stuff.
Absolutely. As you move further into Genki, especially into Genki 2, you'll hit grammar points that are deeply, deeply intertwined with Japanese culture and social structure.
Yeah.
It's not just about sentence mechanics anymore.
Can you give us a sneak peek? Like, what's an example?
The classic example, the one that ties learners in knots for ages, is the giving and receiving verbs. Jiru kueru morao.
The infamous giving verbs. I've heard whispers.
Whispers of pain, probably.
Yeah.
They come up around lessons 14 and 16 in Genki 2, along with their even more polite versions like Sashijiru and Hitadaki.
And they're not just simple translations of give and receive.
Oh, heavens no. If only. Their correct usage depends entirely on the social context. Who is giving? Who is receiving? What is their relationship? Is the giver higher or lower status than the receiver? Are they in your in-group or the out-group?
Wow. Okay, that sounds complicated.
It is. Because getting it wrong doesn't just sound grammatically incorrect. It can sound incredibly rude or arrogant or overly familiar or weirdly self-deprecating. It directly reflects social hierarchy and perspective.
So what's the takeaway for learners approaching that? Panic.
No, don't panic. The key takeaway, without teaching the whole system now, is that this is where grammar is culture. You can't separate them. And the universal advice for learners, especially foreigners in Japan, is when in doubt, err on the side of politeness. Always.
Yeah.
Using overly polite language is far safer than accidentally using a form that implies you're socially superior to someone when you're not.
Err on the side of politeness. Sage advice for navigating a hierarchical society.
Absolutely. And it just highlights that mastering Japanese isn't just about rules. It's about understanding social dynamics, relationships, context. It's fascinating. But it requires more than just textbook study. It requires cultural awareness.
That's a really important point. Okay, what a deep dive that was into just one Genki lesson. We've really unpacked Thai for wanting to do things.
Right. And the crucial your desire only rule.
Tari Tari Suru for listing those example activities.
Don't forget the workbook for that one.
Tatoko Ta'aru for sharing past experiences, the ultimate conversation starter.
And remember the short answers. Hi, arimasu.
And finally, ya for listing example nouns, the open-ended list particle.
Contrasted with the closed list particle too.
Plus, we've touched on vital strategies like using the workbook, Anki sentence cards, and being aware of those deeper cultural links in grammar, like the diving verbs coming up later.
It's a lot, but these are such versatile tools. If you practice these points from Lesson 11, really get comfortable with them, your ability to express yourself in everyday Japanese will take a huge leap forward.
So the call to action for everyone listening is, start using these. Try making sentences about what you want to do. Thai. Think about your last weekend and summarize it with Tari Tari Suru. Ask a friend, or yourself, about experiences using Takatoka Aro. List some things you like using ya. Actively integrate them.
Definitely. Listen for them when you hear Japanese. Notice how they're used. Experiment. Don't be afraid to try them out.
So what does this all mean? As you continue your own deep dive into Japanese, just remember it's more than memorizing. It's about understanding how language reflects culture, how grammar encodes ways of thinking about the world and relationships. Every new pattern is a clue. So, what fascinating cultural insights might you uncover next, hidden away in the grammar you're learning? Keep exploring, keep practicing.